take nice vacations. I tell you, you got nice 5-star hotels here. Really enjoying it. Thank you, government of Cyprus. But I get to do talks like this too. That's where you license it. Mid-range. And finally, when you need, that's when you do a company. Now you're listening to all this and thinking, and thinking to yourself, come on, let's try this one more time. You're listening to all this and thinking to yourself, huh? Right? It's like, what the heck? Oh my God. It's so confusing. And I'm only touching stuff. I mean, I teach this stuff to people and it's a week-long course or a 2-week-long course. I'm just giving you enough to be confused intentionally. So you got to get help. You guys put your heads together and say, okay, let's face the reality. We have no bloody idea what we're doing, even though we won this prize. We have a good idea. We know it's a good idea. How the heck are we going to get it to market? If you are in Cyprus, we at the Research and Innovation Foundation have established a central knowledge transfer office. I manage that program. It's useful and it's better than free. Now, what does that mean? I should say, if you're not in Cyprus, you're at a university, go to your knowledge transfer office and say, hey, we have this, we want help. And that's part of their job if they're worth their salt. You can tell them I said that. I'm actually very famous in the field. I started the field of knowledge transfer with a bunch of other people, but I'm one of the founders of that field. Why do we have the CKTO? Well, it helps. I noticed the misspelling. Oh my God. It helps you figure out what you have that you might be able to make money off of. So you go in and there's a bunch of experts who'll say, what do you got there? Does it look unique? Is there something that's exciting? It'll help you figure out where the market is. And if it looks good on those 2 dimensions, it'll also help you market it and do the deal. And it'll cost you nothing because if state aid applies, RIF covers it. And if you need to apply for patents, we'll give you up to $10,000, €10,000, euro for euro match to cover the cost of patenting. That's why it's better than free. We actually give money as part of this. Here's how it works. You apply, you get an initial engagement. Somebody sits down, figures out what you got and says, okay, I think this is how we can help you. You come to a gate. You move through the next gate, you develop a service delivery plan, you get a bunch of services. These are, what's the IP? What's the market opportunity? Is there anything really here that we think we can help you with? If that looks, and they'll give you 15 days to do that, free. And these are experts. And then if you make it through there, they can come and say, come on. Well, we're stuck. That's when you don't get approval. Battery is running low. Close. Okay. I guess I should talk fast. They'll go to the, yeah, it says the battery's not plugged in. And then they'll give you the additional 15 days for deal making. Here's how you do it. You go to the RAF website. It's in English, I'm sorry, but you can read it in Greek. I'm taking Greek this summer soon. In mid-July, I start my Greek. You go to Central Knowledge Transfer Office. So you go up to Innovation Services, Central Knowledge Transfer Office. Brings this up. You can see how you get into it. Once you read that stuff, you go, oh, I want to apply. You go into, you click up here. There's something that says Iris. You go into Iris. You type in KTO, and it brings this up, and you can apply. That's all there is to it. Then you get the services. So, some closing thoughts. First one comes from my dad. I'm a 6th-generation entrepreneur. I learned this stuff at the kitchen table. He says nothing happens without a sale. It's all useless if you can't sell it. Sorry, it's the reality. It may be great science, but nobody cares in terms of saving the world. And that's what this is about, saving the world. And Lord knows the world needs it. Secondly, a famous vaudevillian comedian named Milton Berle said, if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. You got to be in the door building business. You got to be willing to go out there, knock on people's doors, say, hello, I have something interesting. I'm with a student team. We're trying to figure out if anybody cares about this. You'd be amazed. You get pretty good responses if you talk to people. And this KTO or your KTO can help you figure out how to do that. My favorite Chinese fortune cookie said, a well-defined imagination is the source of great deeds. I've been doing this kind of stuff for 45 years now. I'm really old. I'm older than most of your parents. That's how old I am. Some of you could be my grandchildren. My partner has great-grandchildren. Anyways, there is a method for doing this. People know it. I teach it. I wrote a book about it. You know, it's not rocket. I used to work for NASA. We had bumper stickers that said NASA. Yes, it is rocket science, but this is not rocket science. And finally, there's a book called The Cat in the Hat that every U.S. kid knows about. They read it. It's a story of two kids that are home. They're having no fun. And this cat with a tall hat shows up and they go crazy and they have fun. And then they clean up the house before the parents get back, of course. But the cat comes in and he says, it's fun to have fun, but you have to know how. This stuff that you're doing is fun. If you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. It'll drive you up the wall. It'll keep you up at night. You'll be miserable at times, but deep down inside, it's really cool to make a difference in the world. And I could, if somebody asked me, I'll give you a few stories of specific things that I know I've made a big difference just for being that little nail for want of which the shoe was lost and the kingdom was lost kind of thing. And it's a team sport, but if you're part of it, you're going to have fun. And the day you do that deal, you're going to go, woohoo, Mama's got new shoes. I'm going to Tahiti, whatever you want to do. You're just going to feel great because you made a difference. And that's fun. It really is fun. And it's addictive. And you come back and back and back. That's why I'm here. It's addictive. I love doing this stuff. I love helping you guys do this stuff. But you got to know how. And that's why we're doing programs like this. They're doing programs like this. And there's this whole infrastructure out there waiting for you to help you. I write a blog where I give tips, tricks, and all these kinds of things. This is not official RIF. This is just me on my own. The reason it's not official RIF is it takes too long to get approval for anything, because anybody who's worked in Cyprus knows there's a lot of bureaucracy here. So anyways, that's my blog. If you have something you want me to discuss in the blog, you send me something and then I'll write it up. Otherwise, I make it up as I go along. And thank you very much, and I'd be glad to answer any question you have. Any questions? Good. You can pigeon me later. Yes.
Thank you for coming.
You should see me when I'm on.
Yeah, how did you come to the 10-day training that you're going? I want more information about that.
What?
No, I'm kidding. I said that I want to join the 10-day
Where are you
training.
located?
Here.
In Cyprus? Are you in a company or a university?
I'm at the university here.
So the way you get the training at the what do you do at the university?
No, that was the first comment of my question. My actual question was, would it be difficult to how competitive is the process? The online, the packaging, and everything.
Okay. The process of going through all this, if you've never done it before, some of it's easy, some of it's difficult. Patenting, oh yeah. Excuse me. I'm back. Hi out there in TV land. Okay, the question was, how difficult is this process, like patenting and things like that? Patenting in particular is very difficult. It looks easy, but it's not. There are so many ways you can screw it up, you'd be amazed. Get a professional. Get a patent attorney who works in the field that you're in the applications you're interested in. That's how specific you want the expertise of that patent agent. If you go to an IP attorney who is not a registered patent agent, then you end up paying that attorney to refer you to another patent agent and so on and so forth. That may be worthwhile, but you have to make sure that the patent agent they're referring you to, because they will cut the time it takes you to find one, that the patent agent they're referring you to is actually the right patent agent. And then there are all sorts of questions you have to think about in terms of what do I want to file and where do I want to file. There are things called provisional patent applications, which give you a priority date. The world is first to file now. That's what priority date means. And you can do this for $500 in a provisional patent application in the US. But if you screw up the provisional, that sets the framework upon which the full patent can be written in order to keep the same priority date. Bottom line, get a professional to help you. Other things. How do I find the end user? Easy. Here's what you do. You say to yourself, here's my technology. It's a new way of controlling the air pressure in tires so that they are at the maximum so you use less fuel. I go to the tire store. I say, where do you buy your valves from if it goes on a valve? And they say, well, I use Schlickelgruber's valves. You then call up Schlickelgruber. You don't know who to call. You call the assistant or the secretary of the CEO. You need a name in order to work through a company. And you say, who can I talk to about better valves? Because we're doing a research program in it, or I'm in a student project on it. And I just want to know, is this something people are looking for? And is this idea crazy that we're researching? Or is it something that somebody might be interested in downstream? Boom, 1, 2 leaps. You see what I mean? You use who you know, and you just keep on working the chain to get to the right people that you want to talk to. That's not so bad to figure out what people want. You can also go to distributors and wholesalers, who sell many things, and ask them what they think of the various things out there. You can look on the web. There's all sorts of ways to do that. That kind of stuff's not so hard. You can learn to do that yourself. When it comes to picking up the phone and trying to do a deal, kind of helpful to have somebody who's been there before. So I would recommend that, or at least get some coaching, mentoring while you're doing it. But again, the most important thing is good science, solid results, test, this is what it does. You're not going to tell them how you do it, but you're going to say it's 20 times better than the standard valve in terms of air loss, whatever. And I can back this up with data. Look here's the test results from our lab. And then you need, when you're moving forward, the right team to commercialize it, and who that team needs to be depends on the way you're going to market. So that's when it gets more complicated. But in the early stages, I'm thinking of a research project I'm developing. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this invention or this project we did in this program. You can get on the phone and call people and talk to them. Talk to people who will use it, who will literally put their hands on it. I will give you a quick example. Many years ago, a dentist at the University of Storrs came to me. This is a part of the University of Connecticut, Storrs, Connecticut. Came to me and said, was a professor, and said, I have invented a better way of reducing dental x-rays. It turns out that the major source of mouth cancer is the dentist taking x-rays. Gives you pause, doesn't it? Next time they say, let me take a bunch of x-rays. You're like, really? Do you need this? Why? Anyways, I thought, that's cool. And what is it? And she said, it's this little insert that goes in the bite wing. So a bite wing is you take in your house and you're going to put the x-ray over there, right? And there's a little circle and they put the x-ray source on it. Well, she said, there's too much radiation coming through. You only need this little target area. So we make a little target and we block all the other radiation. Better mousetrap, right? I'm like, that's very cool. I get it. I'm sure we can commercialize it if it does what you say. First of all, you make sure there's nothing like that out there. Secondly, what we did was we went to some dentists and we said, is this cool? And they said, yes. And then I said, by the way, Mr. or Mrs. Dentist, who would you buy it from? And they said, well, we would buy it from this catalog company called Shine. So I got on the phone and I called up Shine. And I said, I want to talk to the buyer for Bite Wings, because I figured he'll buy this too. Or she'll buy this too. I talked to the buyer for Bite Wings, and they're like, well, that's pretty cool. Give me some samples. I'm going to test it on some dentists. If they like it, yeah, we'd be interested in it. But understand, we don't make this. We're not going to license this. We buy it from other people. I'm like, fine, just let me know if you like it. They tested it. They loved it. Then I said to the buyer, who do you buy from? Would you like to buy this from? He said, one of these three companies I trust. I called up those three companies. The first company I called was called Dex in Germany. Guess what? They licensed it. You know why they licensed it? Because I said, your customer wants to buy this and said to call you. That's a good pitch, right? Now, see, that's how you work the problem. You could do that yourself if you have a lot of common sense and instincts and are comfortable talking to strangers. And if you're not, you get somebody who is to do it for you. Next question. Oh, by the way, if you do want training, you go, there is no KTO here. I don't know who you go to. You go to Mr. Vice Rector, who is just here, and you say, God, bring Leah and let her do a training for us. And he'll call RIF, and my boss will say, go do the training. Because we are committed to helping people innovate in the Cypriot ecosystem. Next question. Good.
I have one.
Okay.
I have a small one. I'm just trying to, because some of these ideas we have today, they're credited to training, and most of them would be either low tech or in the early technology readiness levels. And what's this balance between doing enough to go and try to, let's say, close and get my IP, or get market to avoid?
Okay, here's my advice. Let's use a research result. You have something I can touch. So I can say, we have terms for it. One is called non-obtainium. In software, we call it vaporware. You know, it's got to be real. You have some early stage research result that says, oh, it looks like there's something here. You're at that point, not just, oh, I have this great idea. That's the time to do it. The other time you do it is when you have what's called a constructive reduction in practice. It's a term from the patent art. A constructive reduction to practice means I can draw you pictures on how it works. And I can make a flow chart of all the steps. I can describe it in such a way that if somebody wanted to make it, they could make it. This is what I'm going to do when I do my experiment. I'm going to do all these things, and God knows whether it's going to work or not. Not good. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do all these things, and because I do this little thing over here, I believe all these other things will work. Good enough. That's when you go. Again, go to the CKTO. They'll help you figure out if you're at the right time or not. It costs you nothing, and you may learn something along the way. Anything else? Okay, I'll be around for a little while to take any other private questions you have. But thank you again for your attention. It's a joy to work with you. You guys deserve the credit.
Thank you so much, Leah. It's good to have you over, and actually, I think the next step is to have you again for the local team. Actually, discussing with Antonia when we were designing this, and I said, would be a really interesting person to come and say something that is not just the same things over and over again, that actually has probably done some stuff. Not just build a startup, which is the unique trip, but also being through the policy and how you do it. And believe me, I'm not a person who does policy. I'm probably the worst one to do. Maybe I'm not even the one who would make startups, but I like going to nice training events and actually education. So I've never been to one of the workshops that Leah has facilitated at CRIF, and it was always interesting. So thank you very much for making it, coming from Nicosia. And now it's time for the main course. So we call it a demo day because effectively it is exactly that. And what we have is that we have for the last 2 years, and particularly the crowd is here for the past 3 or 4 months, we have tried to go in different classes or extracurricular activities in different universities and give them a bit of training and tell them, find a problem or come with a problem or come with your idea, and let's see if we can work it out into a potential product or a service that is of value to someone, that someone is willing to buy. Through the Climate Entrepreneurship Program, we were able to uh, play this, I call it the entrepreneurship theater. So we don't believe that some of you might go out of here and create the business of it. If you do, that's even better. But what we wanted you to is at the point in your life that you might really want it, with a particular other opportunity, you will find that opportunity and do it yourself. So today we have, let me see how many, because I cannot count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 8. I skipped 5. It was my unlucky number. So we have 8 or 9, approximately 8. Yes. Where is 5? Isn't that yours? Wait. So yours will be 5. I will find it. When the time comes. It should be here, no? Okay, I'll find it. So let's start with the first one, which is wildlife repeller frequency fence from post patrol. I know, I have a lot at home. I had to chase this big balloon until last week. So yes, and you can. The clicker should work now that the battery is on. Just before, yes, back and forth. So let me just give the rules. I'm gonna give each team about 6 minutes. When it's 5 minutes, just put my hand up. I don't have a question, it's that you only have 1 minute left to wrap up. Then we allow the floor for a couple of questions. There is no prize, so don't try to fall to tear them apart. I think if they are successful, they want to go out there. Someone else will do it. We also have some money to give them in the end, unless you have money to give them now. So please do question. But try to. Banis is willing to give you some mentor hours, but he will probably go Wolverine on you. So I'll give you the mic.
Thank you. So hello everyone, we are Inno-EUt and Son. Have you ever encountered animals on the road while driving?
Do such incidents make you feel unsafe behind the wheel?
Are you saddened by the animal roadkills you see on the roads?
We are Pause Patrol, and we might have a solution for you. Our wildlife repeller frequency fence. We offer a device that would deter animals from running onto the road by playing a high frequency. It would be sold in packs. One set would include 50 devices, and the price of a set would be 260,000 euros.
Our target audience will be divided into 2 segments. Primary audience will be state and regional administrations, which would be more definitely divided into state decision-making bodies and companies, as well as municipalities and local authorities. Secondary audience, businesses and individual buyers, which would further be divided into forestry, agriculture, and protection of private property.
We interviewed automotive engineering students and drivers. After the survey, we found out our potential client values that we should follow while making our product. The top 3 values are that our product is long-lasting, doesn't harm animals, and that the product is tested and manufactured by professionals.
About the product, frequency fence is an ultrasonic emitting device designed to repel animals from roads, especially expressways and highways. It is powered by a solar panel on top of it. Underneath is a thermal imager that reacts to any change in the temperature. In this case, an animal approaching the road. Under, underneath, yes, when the thermal imager is triggered by a change of temperature, it gives the signal to the ultrasound emitter to radiate these high-pitched ultrasound waves. Only animals can hear these sound waves, and they repel them to move closer to the road or even cross it. The pole is supposed to be around 3 meters high with an underground base.
These are the key questions we asked during the interviews. The key learnings and insights that we got were the importance of quality, sustainability, and durability, as well as an environmentally friendly product that's been thoroughly tested and is supported by statistical data.
As for the finances, we are looking at a 24 million euros profit here. By having 15% of the market share, our customers would be 10 countries with the highest rates of wildlife roadkill each year, and the estimated amount of sets sold each year would be around 400. And since the price for the set would be approximately 260,000 euros, we would be looking at a 60,000 euros profit from each set purchased.
To know the total CO2 emissions of one product, we calculated the average CO2 emissions of each component. At first, we took into account the kilowatt hours of the thermal imager and the ultrasound emitters to figure out how much power the solar panel would need to produce. Then we evaluated the required power of the battery and came to the final result that one frequency fence produces approximately 600 kilograms of CO2 emissions. This number might seem surprising, but if we acknowledge the positive impact on road safety, the prevented car accidents, and saved lives, it might not be a big obstacle. Besides, if we continue this project, we would definitely find alternatives to make the product less polluting.
And lastly, this is our team. We are 6 beautiful, brave young ladies that would like to make a change. We care about animals and about safe driving as well, because we have experienced the fear of seeing an animal run on the road out of nowhere. We each have a different role in the group, and we combine them successfully to create an amazing team. Our future positions in our company are based on our roles in the project team. And our dreams are to help drivers and passengers feel safer on the road. We wish to save lives of many innocent people and animals, and we hope to create a product that is both ecologically efficient and environmentally friendly.
Thank you. Paldies.
Any questions? Yes. So, what is the power consumption of your system?
Power consumption?
System. Go back slide. Yeah.
The next one?
Yes, here.
Thank you.
Internet wants to know your question.
Yes. Okay. The power consumption of your system. So you have one thermal camera and you have one ultrasound receiver emitter. So what is the power consumption of it? Average.
Well, the average
10 watts per hour or
Thank you,
10
Mike.
kilowatts per hour or few megawatts per day.
You know, that's a good question because I know the numbers, but not from my mind. I can remember them right now.
Yeah, it's average.
At this moment,
It's about so because your battery will power a very big structure. It's not need to be this big battery. This battery in 400 kilograms, it's about 2000 amperes per hour. It's
Okay.
incredible big.
Okay. Well, thank you
Who
for
was
noticing.
your technical advisor? Did you have a technical advisor in this project?
Does it look like?
We didn't have much of the mentoring. We are first year creative industry students, actually, and we do need a lot more mentoring and advice. So thank you. Actually, I think after this all event, we will definitely continue with communication with our mentors. And yes, it needs a lot of improvement. So we're here with the idea, and yes.
Yeah. Your idea is perfect, is very good. You do it in the best way. Only use some technical advisor for some of the details.
Yeah, we know
Okay,
this was
thank you.
actually the most complicated slide we had to create.
Yes, we did not find a mentor for this, so we tried to do it ourselves, and I guess it wasn't the most successful part of our presentation, but we agree that it needs improvement. Yes.
More question and then the last one. Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations on presentation. Very nice one.
Thank you.
Very noble idea. Just if you can go to this slide with the financials, because if you ever like pitch something, just from my experience, I'm from the investment side. I worked in consulting quite a bit. Noble ideas, great, but in the end, the key thing, the key message is like on the kind of financials, whether it's commercially viable or not. And this slide, I'm sure the numbers here are right, but I got totally confused when I saw it. Can you walk us through it?
By this?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I think we followed the required structure of this presentation. So this was the template that we had, that we were meant to fill. So I guess that's why we went with this. Some people also told us that it might be confusing, but again, we thought we had to stick with this structure. Do you need something to for me to explain to you, or
If I may add to this.
I don't want to be too critical. Okay.
So as a picture, they might say different things to different people. But what those pictures so what this shows, it shows what the financials would be. Well, what's to show? In year 5 of the company, you have compared the picture of the market. So, and you started to compare about the market. So you capture how about 60% of that, which would be 10 countries, the number of customers. And you end up on the bottom side is how much money comes in and how much it's costing. And you can the margin. That's before tax.
So I should read it from right to left? Oh.
so there is the profit, and this whole part of it is how the profit comes together. That number.
Okay.
Government knows somebody. I think you can make that money.
No.
Select the government. So one last question. We're keeping the moral here.
Okay. I just wanted to ask, who's your customer?
All the countries. Always our primary audience would be.
Can you go to? Yeah. So who will come and buy?
Our primary audience would be the governments of, and administrations of countries, because it is quite an expensive product for someone to buy individually. So the countries would include the top 10 countries are USA, Canada, Japan, Australia, Germany, Spain, and South Africa, Italy, and one more, which I forgot. Those would be the countries.
Okay, so your primary customer, it's not the countries. I mean, you have to define it a bit better. It would be, for example, the Department of Forestry, or you just need to be a little bit more specific on who would actually come and buy it.
Okay.
And so coming back to the financial, just a small remark is that, are there actually 70 countries who have this problem? For example, in Cyprus, we don't have this problem because we don't have wild animals. So if you, I mean, you just need to define which countries actually do have this problem. It's actually so. Excuse me? Yeah, but is it such a big problem for the Cypriot government to buy? I mean, does it to be
Well, I believe that
just here in the market? You have to be a bit more specific, not like the countries, but who would it actually be?
okay, the number 70 was approximate number, which which countries would like this would road kill and accidents be a problem. For us in Latvia, it is a problem in many regions. I think that in those other countries, which are not those 10, they would probably purchase like just fences or those bridges.
Just to add very quick to what he has said, that could it's better not to
Yes.
try to build something, especially where it might be a business, might be one that actually has a problem. And you have the
For agriculture,
Yeah, that's why we
I
have.
avoid the clients to be the government.
it's very difficult to get a check from the government. Every month I get one. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah. That's why we chose the secondary audience as well, like businesses and also just to protect the private property.
But you need to have very good time so that you can actually measure it. This is the purpose of defining it very well in the rich environment. But
So
very nice idea.
I would like to thank them. So and thank you, Bobby, thank you because you were first to the shark's mouth, and now the rest of them can bring one of those things to avoid the shark. Do you avoid the sharks? No. Good. So let's see the next ones. The next one from Cyprus, traveling from Limassol to Limassol. We have from Larnaca to Limassol. Better. I'm very anti Limassol. We have Pils. Pils. Ναι, πες καλά εσύ. Okay. So, this is your mic.
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, we would like to thank you for being here today to hear our idea. To begin with the presentation, we believe that each of us has consumed amounts of juice in our everyday life. Have you ever thought where does those pieces of fruit end? A big amount of them end in land. Based on that fact, we have a plan that meets the wineries' needs for security in the export of wines. The product name is Clearly. It is about the compact packages made by peels of fruit as a raw material. If each package has storage slot for 12 bottles of 75 cl of them, the most important thing is that the product is environmentally friendly, and as a result, the big amount of waste is reduced. The deal we can introduce is, firstly, we will take the piece from the industry. We can provide this service for free because in that way we reduce their waste and as a result their taxes. After that, we make our product with those raw material we have gotten and offer it to the wineries for €5 each packet. Firstly, our aim is to conquer Cyprus and Greece with 52 and 348 wineries each, to be a good relationship between quality and price, and therefore to be economically viable for the winemaker. Our package is intended for wine covered in euros. Our next step is to expand in Europe. In the diagram shown, we can see how the prices in Europe fluctuate for the most common wine shippers, with filtering being at €5 and cardboard at €0.6. Despite the higher cost of filtering, it offers a lot of advantages as it is lightweight, it covers the entire bottle, each bottle fits perfectly in each hole, so it is less likely to break during transportation. It is biodegradable, eco-friendly, and reduces industrial waste.
Firstly, our company will collect the organic waste from the juice industry in Cyprus, and once the first material is transported to the facility, the production process begins. It begins with the sugar removal from the peels, then drying, the milling, the mixing, and lastly, the creation of juice. Some questions that we have for potential customers are: how many crates do you export? How much does a wooden crate cost? What factors are fulfilling your needs for packaging? How many bottles were broken during the transportation? And how important is it for you to be considered as an eco-friendly winery? Some key features of our product that meet your concerns: we are a clean alternative. Our product is lighter, so the transportation cost is reduced. And additionally, the possibility of damaged bottles will be less.
For the beginning, we address to the 668 wineries that are located in Greece and Cyprus. We estimate that 55% of them will accept the deal. That means 301 customers. In average, they need to use 250 packages every year. So in total, 75,150 packages. The product price is €5, and the cost for us is €2 for production and €1 from transportation and advertising. So our profit is €2 from each package. That means €150,300 at least for the first year of our operation.
How our product contributes against climate change. As mentioned before, it is an eco-friendly byproduct, that it is biodegradable, and by producing it, we reduce bio-waste. The reduction of bio-waste in Cyprus juice industry leads to a smaller carbon footprint. And last but not least, the decrease of wooden crates contribute to the fight against deforestation, as less trees will be cut down and used as raw material.
Finally, our team consists of Andri Pitsilu, sales manager, Mihaela Pkeriba, technologist, and Dimitriana Theophanou, team leader. We aim to reduce the bio-waste from juice industry in Cyprus, to provide an eco-friendly product, to be successful as a company, and earn $500,000 by 2030. Thank you very much.
Let's go, Kelis and then Leah.
Well, you forgot my name. Yeah. Okay, hi, I'm and if any team wants help after this to build a mentor, connect with investors, let me know. You can follow me in LinkedIn. I just wanted to know how did you try to validate? You tried to validate the idea, and how did you do that? Did you try to validate the idea? Are you ask some people about it? Did you talk to some people?
Some wineries for what they use to do the to do the diagram, and we spoke to them, and they do broke some glasses when they transported it. So we want to do something for it, and we asking for the machine for the cost of them to know if we can do it and do profit for it. So yes, from this.
So just a quick thing for you and all the other teams. Everybody's got these lovely market shares, which are totally ridiculous. So I'll just give you one example. Anybody ever seen a plastic cork in a wine bottle? I actually was part of the funding decision for that. And when it came up to us, it was a similar argument. It was recycled, in that case, plastics. Had the exact same oxygen transmissivity as natural cork, much less expensive than a natural cork. Looked really good. I think initially when it was introduced, it got 1 or 2% of the market after about 10 years. I think we funded it in the 80s, is my recollection. And it's now at something like 30% of the market and just now starting to take off. It's actually the most rapidly growing section of the wine sealing market. But it took a long time to take off. So just when you're trying to estimate how much market share you're going to get, look for something similar. So if you're introducing a farmed fish, you say it's if it's a yuppie kind of fish, rich people's fish, look at the last rich people's farmed fish that was introduced, like tilapia or Arctic char or fish that were introduced. And say, oh, look, there's the sales curves for those. I'm probably not going to beat that unless mine's the best thing since sliced bread, literally. In your case, here's another environmentally conscious product for the wine industry. Things look good. Let's look at their growth curve. I'll use that for starters. Then if somebody says, where did those numbers come from? I can say, well, I modeled it on that. So it's a little tip for you. One other thing for everybody, when you look at alternatives, always remember that there are lots of very cheap alternatives out there. So one alternative is to say, we're going to, in your case, you had cardboard there, we're just going to eat the breakage because it's going to be cheaper than paying the additional. Or in the deer case, I'm just going to put fences up because fences are a lot less expensive than 260,000 euro for that. And always look at, like you did correctly and everybody else is doing, look at what other products are sold and what the price points are there because nobody's going to pay you more.
You are supposed to be defining so well their market, so their niche market, and they're supposed to be dominant in this niche market. That's why their percentages are sometimes bigger than what we would expect.
Well, I'm impressed with what people are doing. You got the right idea. Just where you're going, the overall structure is correct. You just got to pin the assumption so that somebody says, where's that number come from? You can pin it.
Yep.
So our thought is to start with something more specific, and if we make profit for it, to start doing different things for packages. So to use in Amazon, in everything.
Oh, I
that
like what you're
offers.
doing. Actually, you're very clever. The only thing, my number one issue is how long does it take for the deal to biodegrade? In other words, I'm in the package. The package is 5 years in a warehouse. Is that package still good or is it 10 years?
We just started to make some samples, so we don't have a specific answer for you.
But we managed to do some of them, and we think we don't take as long as we think we do.
Under review that thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So, who's next? The next one is extra what? So if you realize that this is like Eurovision. Instead of singing, they do theater. I am Rebecca from.
Okay, so how do we?
Did you finally watch? Did you watch the whole thing? Yeah, really good.
So, hello everybody, we are Extravat. You might wonder where our name comes from. So, we all know that energy is measured in kilowatts hour. Our team proposes a solution to make energy consumption more efficient. Thus, we have Extravat. Our company sells thermoelectric generators to wood industry companies. They pay us $45,000 for a generator, and they, in time, will make more money. They they sell for money. After a market analysis, we discovered that the ideal client for us would be a company in the wood industry that would use wood pellets made out of wood dust, and they would burn them and also use a boiler. Our beachhead market is Romania. Here are the countries that we think our company expects to sell the most generators, and these are the numbers of generators that we expect to sell. For every product, there must be some benefits. The most important benefit that our company gives to the customers are the electrical bills that are reduced by 15%. That's a lot if we think about it. After our research, we have discovered that we are the first in the field that uses this new technology, and it innovates the product and makes it better. Other benefits are long life expectancy, extended warranties, and owning a sustainable.
So, we know that. We know that the energy industry is one of the key factors why the climate problem is, because burning the coals and things like that. First of all. Second of all, I could use a lower electrical bill, to be honestly, and we have our solution. It's a thermoelectrical generator that works based on a Stirling engine. This idea came from a Swedish Scotland class type. Submarine. I'm not very good at it. All right. Customer discovery. We asked a lot of woodworking companies and carpenters with what would they want. And yes, everybody agrees that we all need lower electrical bills and the long life expectancy. And the question that always popped, do you have a working prototype? And we are like, no, we don't have, because it costs a lot of money. Like 45,000 euros is a lot, to be honest. Okay, here are the financials. To start this startup, we need like 4 million. It's a lot. In the first 2 years, and we will start generating a profit about 5% annually until we reach in the 50-year a profit of 50%. Climate change. So our thermoelectric for every 1 kilowatt hour is produced like 1 kilogram of CO2. And our generator saves like 131 tons. That is like 1.5 football playing field with solar panels. This is our team. Me, Alex Moldovan, Attila Rax, Elisa Bercha, and our colleague Silvia Nagy, who is not here, unfortunately. And our dream is to try to tackle the problem of producing electrical energy, because, yeah. Thank you.
I have one.
Yes.
Treat me as I'm a complete stupid person that thinks that energy is magic. I don't necessarily use the word.
Yes, it's magic.
How does yours?
How
does yours
solution work?
Yeah. So what are you actually doing for the carpenters? Are you cheaper or better? That's what I understand.
Not about. So what is our product? Okay, you have a woodworking firm company.
Yes.
And you have a boiler, something that produces heat to heat your hull, your industrial hull, all right? And you lost some heat because thermodynamics. And that heat that is lost, we collected it right there and use the temperature for the heat loss to generate that difference of temperature difference, to generate the momentum, the potential energy.
So it's a heat pump of sorts.
Kind of a heat pump. It's a Stirling engine in its most basic design that works on difference of temperature. You have a hot piston and a cold piston. The working fluid flows from a piston to another. The heat.
Okay. Yeah. But how do you prove it? Yeah, I
it's
feel
a well-known technology.
I'm trying to understand why is it better for carpenters?
Because that's the thing. The carpenters, our beachhead market, they have a lot of sawdust. With the sawdust, they make wood pellets. Wood pellets are going to do boilers. Boilers produce heat. Heat goes into energy. Energy, yay, lower electrical bills.
Okay. Anybody else? Oh, thank you then. I'm a statics person. I don't do thermodynamics. So who's next? Yeah, I have to tell you who's next. So next is upcycle. I thought you were presenting too. I saw you standing up. Unfair advantage.
Hello, everyone. We're excited to present you our innovative app cycle. So, yeah, the problem, that there is a big amount of organic waste which is sent to the landfills, and 1/3 of all food produced is lost or wasted each year. So the solution is that we are turning the food waste into a compost with an app which makes sustainable living more um, attractive to people because of our way to attract more people to live in eco-friendly environment with the app.
Immediate market for upcycle are households located in urban and suburban areas. Countries that can benefit from composting bins are, for example, countries with high population density, with significant agricultural sector, and island countries. Our market is mainly concentrated in Bulgaria because organic waste, including food waste and plastic trimmings, make up a significant portion of waste stream in Bulgaria. Our target audience is individuals who have access to mobile devices. Important is have desire for change and willingness to be eco-friendly. We aim to appeal to a wide range of groups with particular focus on individuals aged 25-65. We understand that our younger generations are highly motivated by incentives such as vouchers and financial rewards. That's why, just for only $2, our customers get access to our composting system, bonus points, and discount vouchers.
Now let's see in detail how the apps work. After we have installed it and opened it, we have two options, sign up or sign in. As with most registrations, an email and password are required. When we are done with the registration, we immediately end up on the home page where we can see news, information about composting, different different types of coupons, where they apply, and the history of your compost. On the navigation menu, directly next to the house icon, there is a map of the composters. It clearly shows compost near you. Additional information about composters and how far away they are from you can be given, or if they are available or free to use. Moving on, we came across to the QR scanner. It is through it how we open the container to fill it. It gives kind of uniqueness and protection to the each composter. When we unlock a container, information pops up about what you can add. And also you can see its weight and how much you can earn. All this information as history of your compost and what balance can be found in your profile section.
We open our app prototype and just see the interface.
That's the market trends based on data collected from a survey of 44 individuals between the ages of 18 and 34, um, residing in Sofia. This is what we concluded. Um, on this.
Our business strategy is to place one container that will serve up to 30 customers. The expected number of customers per year is 900. We have estimated a one-time cost to develop our app, cost to place containers, also cost for customer bonus and discounts, and cost to maintain both the apps and the container. The estimated profit monthly is $5,000, which includes the profit from each load. And assuming we have 30 products per year, the expected profit for the first year is $150,000.
Climate impact. In terms of environment, composting helps to protect water and soil quality, um, prevent the release of, for example, methane, prevent erosion and loss of grassy areas, and significantly reduce the need of pesticides and fertilizers. Materials can be added to manure to create compost, which can help restore forests, wetlands, and wildlife habitats by um, positively charging and um, um, cleaning polluted and compacted soils. In agriculture, composting provides stable source of organic matter and regulates soils pH levels, adds humus, and stimulates the soil to renew itself. Um,
And this is our founders team. I am Darina. The colleagues here are Andrea, Nadelina, and Tivana. And we dream to minimize the food waste sent to the landfills and, of course, stimulate more people to live more sustainably. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, anybody want to answer? Anybody upcycling? Currently, anything? Composting?
Yeah, of course. Ella.
Hi, a very nice presentation. Actually, I got a little bit confused of what your product is because in the where you showed the market in the first slides, you said that it's an app, but then I saw some on the financials. I saw container. So is it just the app or is it a container?
Basically, we are working. Our main idea was firstly with the app, and then we started to grow it. And from now, we're trying to put containers through the city, which are working through this app. And people will enter, like, you scan the QR code, yes, Netherlands, you scan the QR code, you open the container, you throw your trash, and you get bonus points. So that's the basic idea. And after developing the app, we sensed that we missed the main part, the container, the physical thing that we need in order to be successful. And we thought, why don't we concentrate even on the containers, not only on the app?
Yeah, that's a good answer. If that is it and it's a system, you should then include it also in the market in the beginning. You shouldn't like promote it as it's just an app, because it's not. It's a system. So when you sell it, you will sell also the smart container and the application that will go together. And on that, I will go to the last slide on the climate impact. That's the climate impact of composting in general, but what's the climate impact of the app and the container and your product? You should focus on that on this slide more. So I'm sure it has many benefits, and you can find like specific because the good things of composting are known, but for your app, in order to sell it, you need to focus on that. That's the recommendation.
So about the first question, we are selling the app to like the final buyer, and we are selling the containers to the bigger firms that are going to work with us. So it's
It's two different markets. Okay, so it's two different presentations, or
well, basically we try to fit everything in just in one presentation.
So just to
Because we're on this slide, just
No, go ahead, go
just, for all the teams, with this slide, climate impact is good data. If you have data, it's more powerful. You can calculate the impact that your solution is. You're able to calculate this, but not trying to work the data. That's it.
Just a comment regarding the question about the clients. So the client of the app and the client of the container would be two different people. The app would be for the people, the consumers. The container would be probably for the municipalities, because you want them to install and to support this kind of system.
Yes, that's the main. We sell the app to the consumers. We sell the containers to, for example, the government. They're the one who is responsible for putting the containers throughout the city. We can do that without it.
Yeah. So what Marisa said is correct. You would need two different financials, because it's not the same person buying the product. And second comment, for example, in your market, you have put Singapore. How have you chosen Singapore? What was the criteria? Because Singapore, they are not sensibilized about that at all. They don't filter their waste. They actually burn everything and they make energy out of it. So for me, it wouldn't be a good market. It wouldn't be a good country to go to. But, I don't know if there is any other data that you found to.
What's the reason for picking?
Population density.
But there is also in Tokyo, in New York. I mean, okay.
More hipster lands where you have density.
Exactly.
That there is no another competitive solution that like burning everything.
Yeah. It's important to know your market. It's important to be sure that where you will sell, they actually need that.
With the concentrate, of course, in town Sofia. And for further expansion, we haven't thought about really, but we hope that we reach the whole Europe, for example. We just use some countries, for example, that for high density population and for small islands. There's limited space for landfill.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. Now, it's true. And so now I am looking. So now I reach number 5. So wait. So you guys, which one?
I emailed. Yeah, so.
Let me just see this thing here. So you can all stretch your legs for a bit until I sort this mess out. That's the one. I named it 7 for some reason.
Oh.
Should we just go now or?
Yeah, yeah. We'll go back.
We're stuck. Yeah.
Okay, the next presentation is from the Cyprus of the Northwest.
Hi.
So I'll start your time when everybody sits. Yeah. Is that Gaelic?
Yeah, we'll explain. Don't worry.
I can't speak that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Go. So my name's Ben, and my name's Robin, and this is Ben. And this is our business model, Lava Gloss. So Lava Gloss essentially is, well, I'll get into the name first. The name is Gaelic. So in Ireland, we speak English, but we also speak Irish in certain parts, and some of our places and transport and businesses will be named in Gaelic. So Lava Gloss translates into hands. Sorry, I have the clicker.
Oh,
Yeah.
the clicker is there. It's in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. So our deal is we want to help create a sustainable future by recycling and repurposing single-use latex gloves.
Right, so I'll take us through the market. So essentially, our beachhead market, what we're going to look to tap into is the medical industry. Smaller practitioners like smaller GPs, smaller hospitals, because they're more accessible for us than just go to a big hospital and ask for an opportunity. But this will create market opportunities for us to move into the bigger hospitals and medical practitioners. It's a great initiative too, so we feel like people would be more than happy to jump on board. So our customer value proposition, so essentially we're targeting hospital CEOs, pharmaceutical CEOs, beauticians and restaurant owners. These are the people that are going to market our product. They're the people that are going to want to get their hands on what we are looking to push.
So what is Lava Gloss? Lava Gloss essentially is recycling single-use latex gloves. So single-use latex gloves are a big problem in sustainability. I'll touch more on the climate impacts that they have anyways, but today they're used as PPE, so they're protective workwear, so there's no actual way to get around not using them. So with Lava Gloss, what we plan to do is a monthly subscription we'll send out one push of the single-use latex gloves, and we'll also send out a bin. So the bin would be almost like the way in women's toilets they have the sanitary products bin. So it'll be one base that, and when you take off the gloves, you put them in the bin, nothing else goes in the bin. We take back the bin, we break down the latex, we sanitize it down to the raw material, and we remold it into more latex gloves, and then we push them back out in a monthly subscription. So how this would all work is it would be all based from an app. So obviously we'd have three elements. We'd have the gloves themselves, the bin, and then our app. The app would be where you go and do your first order. If you want to amend your order, you can also do it through the app too. There'll be benefits on the app that will be incentives that businesses can share through their social media and their marketing campaigns, which will help build a positive brand image, basically showing that they're trying to be more sustainable. So it will have sections on the app where it will show how much gases they're saving and what they're saving on the latex as well, which also makes it more convenient for buyers that are buying into Lava Gloss. Instead of having to put in a new monthly order every month of what they need, they can just go through it on the app, and they'd only have to amend it once they want to change it.
Yeah, so finances and our secondary research. So through secondary research, we discovered that on average, small to medium-sized hospitals and medical facilities, they use several thousand gloves per month. So we would act as a wholesaler essentially, and we would do within a box 200 latex gloves for $64.99 per box. We do a cheap bulk order, so let's say hospital wants 7,000 gloves for a month. We do it for €2,000. If we had 10 small to medium-sized hospitals on board, we're looking at €20,000 a month, €240,000 with a startup cost of around €50,000. So I'm not great at maths. And it'd be done through a monthly subscription. So if they wanted to amend their monthly subscription, if they wanted more gloves or less, they just go through the app and deduct or add.
So the climate impact. So latex gloves, they are promoted as being biodegradable. Now, what a lot of people aren't aware of, there's more gases that take big impact into our environment and everything else, apart from CO2 gases. So the one that mainly comes from these biodegradable latex gloves, single use, they take 5 years to degrade, and while they're degrading, they release methane gases. They burn faster than CO2, which makes them more potent to our environment, which actually has a worse effect short term than long term compared to the CO2 gases. The gloves also they end up in landfills, oceans, but by recycling them, you release the methane gases and the CO2 footprint on it as well, and clean our oceans. So this is our team. So myself and Ben are here today. Me and Ben are advertising students, and to create this, we came together with 3 other girls from the pharma studies. And our dream is to create a sustainable way to recycle latex and to supply hospitals all over Europe and America. Any questions?
So only the advertising students came. The pharmaceuticals are still in the lab, trying to make it work.
Yeah, we done a workshop and we were put together, so then we came to represent.
Good.
Yeah.
Any questions?
There's about 10 manufacturers, major manufacturers of latex gloves. Do you happen to know if they use the same formulation?
That's a good question. At this time, no, but I do know that there's only like 2 different types of latex gloves. So there's one, it's latex that's made from natural rubber that comes from the tree. So again, they're cutting down trees to make the latex, and then there is one gloves, and majority of them come coloured because they use plastic, but the gases in the colour and stuff like that as well, even though they're biodegradable, are worse. So either way, even though they're being pushed as a more sustainable option, it's in a way it's like slapping a plaster on the problem and a little bit of greenwashing, let's say. Yeah.
And why do you think it's easier to go after the smaller GP
You're not going to approach a hospital CEO, a big hospital CEO, and ask, can we just use your hospital service?
One of the biggest
industries. But it's one sale compared to
Well, if you start off smaller, you gain traction and word of mouth and recognition.
So what we mean when we say smaller, so in Ireland, there is smaller practitioners such as Botox clinics, filler clinics, GP. And then if you tap into the beauty industry as well, there's anyone that does anything got to do with touching somebody would wear these gloves. So if you were to tap into those markets first and then approach bigger companies, bigger organizations, essentially anyone who uses PPE, single-use latex gloves, should know about us.
Okay. Great idea, and it's a huge problem, especially after COVID, with all this latex around. But when you were thinking the solution, are you trying to create a new material?
No.
Or because the real solution to this problem is to create a latex stuff with new material that is fully I know it's more difficult to do.
So when we were,
but I mean, instead of recycling.
So the reason why we came up with recycling, when we came together, we were actually thinking of gels that you can put on gloves and have gloves that you just have and you can reuse them yourself by using the gels. But that's not safe for human consumption. Anything that's going to be clean enough that can kill bacteria from touching something else isn't going to be safe to say someone operates on someone. Or if, for example, deli workers in Ireland, they wear gloves. If I was to make a wrap and put a load of gel on and then go and make another wrap, like it's not clean. So the safest option would be recycle the latex. Latex actually can be recycled because it is a natural source. So once it's melted down, you have to kind of hit it in between the point of evaporating and liquidizing it. It can be reused and remolded. Now, any latex that can't be reused and remolded, it can be recycled. So latex goes into a lot of things, such as clothing, like the bands on my trousers would have latex in them, and pillows and children's toys. That latex doesn't need to be kept at a certain standard in terms of hygiene, because obviously it's going into products that's not going to be touched by people. So either way, any latex that can't be used, it can be recycled or donated to somewhere else that can be.
So, if I'm not mistaken, you said that it's 64 euros, the box of 200?
Yeah.
And how much does it does that new box of gloves cost?
That's how much they cost to get them from us. So the monthly subscription will be 64.99. And if you were to go with a supplier that isn't sustainable, if basically if I was to go buy latex gloves today, it depends on where you're buying from the wholesalers, but they range from 64.99 to 150, depends on the batch and where you're getting them from and the type of glove. Some boxes of gloves range up to 200 as well, and it literally just depends on whether you want pink gloves, purple gloves, whether you want the just pure latex gloves, single use, or the, as you were saying there, the nitrile, I can never pronounce it. So price just varies depending on your source, where, and by how many you want. Exactly, yeah.
Okay, because
Oh,
because I was
so pick your brains.
I thought that like a box of gloves could cost like 10 euros or something like that.
No, not a wholesale price. If you were a hospital and you were buying a box of 100 gloves at 10 euro, it would be very, very cheap, and it's like it'd be very hard to find. Sure, even when COVID came out, I think like our local pharmacists were selling gloves. I think they're only like boxes of like 30 and 40, like 50 euros. So
Okay, so your
yeah.
value proposition is that you sell it cheaper also.
Yeah, we sell cheaper also. Yeah.
And it's a green initiative.
Yeah. It risks.
And then
Okay.
you have to
Yeah,
worry about
but
is
this,
the medical person you're contaminating.
but that number was just based off a box of 200. So if you, the more boxes you buy, the more gloves that you need. Obviously, the price would drive up. So that's just a standard price for one box of 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
My only other comment would be, I would rethink my strategy about where we started. The reason I say that is you're playing off two things. One, it may be easier to get into a small organization, but if you're actually setting up the recycling process, there's economies of scale, I'm sure. So if you want to get the price down as quickly as possible, you've got that catch-22 going.
Yeah.
And
Thank
it's not
you.
the CEO, you're going after the procurement manager, the person
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
has the budget to price that.
Basically,
You
yeah.
check them out.
Yeah.
Actually, what I would do is
Medical director.
Yeah.
the medical director. Say, this is
The same question about the price.
They'll introduce you to the procurement person.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good. You have more?
No, just a general comment for all the teams in the value proposition, the customer value proposition slide. We want to see what the alternatives are and why your customer would buy your solution instead of the alternative.
Yeah.
We want to see this why. Why
Yeah.
would they buy your?
Yeah.
Is it better? Is it cheaper?
Reduce your carbon footprint.
They don't care. It has to have a financial or
Yeah. Yeah.
And this goes for it goes for all the teams. Yeah.
Thank you. That was so good.
Thank you.
I'll give me that too. Thank you.
So now we can go to number 6 after number 7.
And we are back in Cluj. You want to? No. No point.
6 minutes.
Okay. So we have an image from our forest in Romania where we can saw a lot of trees down, where it's going to the wood factories to make wood products like chairs or desks. So our idea is 3B, a robot will plant trees in this area. The problem is really serious because every year around 4 millions of trees are going down by cutting or in the fires. So we developed 3B with a robot who will plant trees in these areas or in the areas where do we wanted to make some special wood, like trees, who will get fruits from them. Yep, it works really simple. An operator will go with a robot in the zone that will scan the area like a house cleaning robot, take dates from the soil to propose the most efficient sapling in that zone, though then make a map to plant the trees random to don't get down from the wind, then go and dig, plant, and after it all give it the map for the customer. The climate impact, we think it will be really good in the time, because when the trees are small, they don't get oxygen for us, but when are big, then they give a lot of oxygen for us. So the Europe wants from us in 2045 to be neutral. So this is important for our lives. The big benefits of our robots, it can plant 5 trees in 5 minutes, and a man can cut it in 5 minutes. How many trees do you plant these days? Maybe from you are born to these days. Okay, business model, it's really simple. We'll go from business to plant trees, and after we have some money, we'll go with the government, because with the government it's really hard to work. Our potential customers are all of them in the wood zone, maybe like not IKEA, because IKEA has proper
Sustainable
yeah, they don't own the forest, but they buy the wood. Like small workers in the zone, ONGs who plant trees in that zone. Our financial looks, I think, really good. It's a lot of money, but we're still working on that. We need around 200 euros, 200,000 euros for develop the robot and make it works, the big one. But we think to make something small, to plant maybe flowers, to have a demo, to show the people. And we sell with 6,000 euros this one, but we can lease for just 6,000. Here I have some financial statistics, and from year 3, we'll go on the profit. This is the competition. They also work on that idea. We try to be better than them. We have the drone, we will drop the saplings, but from a seed to a sapling, it's a really big difference and took around 10 years. This is the team who will make this project possible. And now I have a little demo about how it works. Yep, thanks. That's the presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. So that was a scaled down version of the real one, right? Good. Proof of concept. Have one?
Yeah, quick comment again. I think you have the wrong target market. I'm probably the most eclectic person in the room. I actually used to own a tree farm in Kelv. I had several hundred acres of redwoods. So the only people who will buy robotic planters, it's going to be similar to when other robotic equipment came into the farm sector. It's big industrial producers. So you have to focus on really big landowners versus small entrepreneurials, because nobody else is going to touch it in the early stages. For somebody like me, I had like 300 acres of redwood. Sounds like a lot, but my neighbor was Mendo Timber and they had 10,000 acres. You know, they can afford equipment. Me, I'm going out and planting by hand. So that's number one. Number two, building on the comment before, always be aware of the fact that there's probably somebody out there doing it. So it's not enough to just say, we can do this. You have to differentiate why you're better, faster, cheaper, or something. So always think about that. I like the idea in general. I think it's an idea whose time has come. So that's not to discourage you from doing it. It's just to say you need to be more aware of who the customer is, what the price points are for the customer, what the payback period for the customer is. That means how long till it makes money for them. And because the competition is always cheap human labor. I don't know if they have gastarbeiters in Romania, because Romanians are usually gastarbeiters, but you know, you get the idea.
You have any comment?
No. Actually, I talk with some ONGs, and they don't find people to go to plant. There will come the solution. Yeah, there are some competitors, but they don't have a product.
So is that the cost dynamics talk?
I think yes.
Can it plant trees too, other than killing people? No.
No, the competitor out there is nowhere. MIL, they're working with the University of Tartu in Estonia. They're one of them. But if I was going to do this, if I was you and I was going to do it, I would find a big manufacturer.
Okay.
Somebody's going to buy production equipment from a startup.
Yeah. Perhaps a licensing agreement. And also, they have the network, the supply chain network.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. If nobody else, let's clap again. Thank you so much. Did you bring it here?
Yes.
Okay. It's in my office, I might need it. I have 3 kids. They would be interested. So here with you. Can I give it? So now we have number 8. Energy wave, Chipre. Or Chipre is not for Cyprus, right? Yeah. Yours. Hit it off.
Good morning. We are first-year naval engineering students who brings an innovative project that contributes to improving the current environmental situation. Our project is called Energy Wave. We are Naila Espósito, Alejandro Mañas, Ángel Martínez, and me, David Martínez. Our product is an energy generator that uses the tidal force. This product is innovative because it is a portable machine which can be picked up from the ship at the entrance of a port and expressed at the exit. With this, we achieve a reduction in the electricity consumption of the auxiliary systems of the ships. The net price of the product will be 3,500 euros. Our market. Our product is aimed exclusively at the private sector, such as shipyards, fishing and cargo ships. In this table, we can see the size of each sector. We will focus on the Spanish cargo ship market. The innovation presented by our product is based on 3 main aspects. Firstly, it allows the generation of energy necessary to power the ship's auxiliary system, such as the kitchen. The initial outlay will be amortized by the client in the first 300 days of use. Secondly, the product has a great advantage, and it is its versatility, which allows it to be implemented in all types of vessels. This is what differentiates us from the competitors. And lastly, it contributes to reducing the carbon footprint by limiting fuel consumption, allowing the ship to obtain ecological CO. The product. As you can see, the device is made up of a torpedo-shaped steel casing, which has a lower hatch for the transit of seawater. This flow will rotate an internal propeller, which will generate about 2 kilowatts of energy, which will be stored in an internal accumulator located in the upper rear part of the device. The energy circulates through flexible reinforced cables to the ship's accumulators. We have contacted several potential clients in Spain, and they have defined the project as innovative, ecological, and profitable. Our product will cost 3,000 euros, which includes the cost of technological development, material production costs of process and logistics. The sale price will be 3,500 euros, obtaining a profit per unit of 500 euros. After some studies in Spain, we have determined that the market our product is focused on has about 200 potential customers, of which we hope to reach the 25%. So it will be possible to sell 75 energy waves in the first year, yielding profits of 37,500 euros. Energy wave, in addition to be economically profitable, also represents a great support from the environment. This system will manage to generate an average power of 2 kilovatios, which is 0.8 liters of fuel per hour. So, continuing with the calculation, it will be possible to avoid the emission of 1.6 kilograms of CO2 per hour, making the naval sector more sustainable. Finally, to conclude with the dream of this team, which consists of doing our bit in the environment aspect. In particular, we want to transform the naval sector in one of the greenest and most ecological sectors in the world, while developing new maritime efficiency systems. All of this for a sustainability wave. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Any questions?
Fuel consumption of the ship, like the drag of your device.
Get my question. It's not fair.
But
Yeah, it's nice.
Thinking out loud.
It's a number that depends of a lot of parameters, but for example, Greece uses, I think, is from my mind, 2 liters of fuel per 5 minutes. It's so much. It's a big cost for the owner.
So an additional question, because there is two ways to use this generator during the stay in the port and during the moment where you.
In the port is possible. We will only use this in calm waters, like when you exit the port, you can deploy it, and if you enter the port, you have.
Yeah, you remove it from. So in that case, did you calculate? So because when you move it pieces around your ship, it's decrease the speed of the ship. So you must compensate with the more fuel. And when you compensate with the more fuel, finally, what is the profit? Is it the profit or not?
Yes, the profit, it will be profitable in the first 300 days of use. So you will gain the cost in these 300 days of use.
No, I mean, when you use this, so suppose you drag it another. This is something like a small boat. You drag it this boat.
Yeah.
To drag this boat, you need more energy for your ship. So the ship is consume more
maybe not
fuel to drag it.
Yeah. We have to consider that it has a lot of energy. It's so big in comparison with this system that is only 1.5 meters. It's ridiculous in comparison with the boat. Yeah. It's so small, so it will not drag the entire boat. So
need to drag it.
Yeah,
So
it
in
will
other cases, not produce the electricity.
Yeah, but it will not reduce. I mean, we will not need more power to move the ship. I mean, it's so small.
of course, you need.
Yeah, we need more, but it compensates with the small size of the device.
Yeah, this is my question.
Yeah.
Did you make some calculation?
Mm.
What is, because it's, of course, it's increase the fuel consumption.
Yeah, that's
a very,
the big-
very small increase, of course. But
Yeah.
It's too small.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Calculate maybe it's going to be zero.
if it's,
See, we estimate that.
if it's exactly the idea to put the generator behind your car and use the car with the electrical power, and the generator. So it's,
I mean, yeah, that's
circular system.
That's the main problem of the today's generators, but we are first year, so it's so complicated to calculate it. Just the idea of the.
I know, that's why I ask you. It's a
the
very,
product.
very complicated question. So, but your idea is very good.
Okay, thank you.
I love the presentation. First of all, you are both very confident, and the logo is amazing, and that's very good job. My question is, did you check if it affects the ecosystem around where this machine will be placed?
Yeah, the machine will be placed near the ship and will float near it, so it will not affect the ecosystem because the whole ship will affect the ecosystem. So a big thing like this will not affect more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else? $5.
So I think the product is under the water, right?
Yeah, it will float only with this part because it has a lower hatch for the transit of the water that will rotate the propeller. So only this part will be under the water.
Oh, I see. So then it's fixed to the boat, rigid or how?
It will no, it will flexible.
So it will drag it after
It
the
will
boat.
drag it after the boat,
So
like
not- so it's in the back of the boat.
yeah,
not
in the back of the
in
boat. It will move with the movement of the boat. Like
then how will you keep in that position?
that's a very good question. But
It could be
I want
another
to
option,
develop one.
but
another-
without doing the numbers, maybe this option will be the.
we can attach it. We can attach it to the boat, but it will not be. It will lose his major improvement, that is its versatility. So we want it to be like a safe man boat that you can drop it down and get it into the boat when you want.
You can attach it to the bolt. It's attached to the bolt. It's going to flow around the hull. The boundary layer gets swept.
Yeah, maybe it will not be.
It's got to be far enough out that it's not attached to the boat.
More question?
Don't attach to the boat. I think that's the main point.
No, we will not attach it to the boat.
Yeah. One more?
And what do you do with that energy?
With energy,
Yeah.
it will circulate through flexible reinforced cables to the ship's accumulators. I mean, they will be stored in the accumulator, and
What
then
will you do with the energy? What?
what? Supply the auxiliary systems of the ships, like the
It has already one. Why? Why would you do that? The ship has
because
already one.
and I mean it's so hard to use. I mean, with this device, we will not produce so much energy to supply the entire ship. So we will only focus in a small thing that can be possible.
Good. Okay. So, thank you so much. Now we're reaching the final one, which is actually the one from Germany, right? Yes. So, it was not part of the program, but we will be forming at the next phase of the EUT funding that Sotiris mentioned before. So it's a welcome to the family talk. It's a PowerPoint, right? Good. Not a PowerPoint. Yeah.
Here you are. Thank you. Hi, I'm Bennett. I'm here for the University of Applied Science in Darmstadt, Germany. And I'm from the startup Transferback. We developed this, a plastic-free padded envelope. I just lay it here. So it all began with a small online business founded by my partner Yannick here. He sold some electronic goods online for another income beside his studies. And yeah, for the packaging, he used these normal bubble mailers. You may know it. It has bubble foil in it, and the outside is paper. Yeah, okay. And so the sales increased, but also the amount of packaging. Yeah, sure. And we're both environmental engineers, and we thought, hey, that's not the best idea to ship with plastic, because our vision is a sustainable online e-commerce. So we have some problems. We all know that we use too much plastic, but some of you might don't know that that doesn't get recycled at all. If it doesn't separate it, it's paper and plastic, paper and paper, plastic and plastic. If it doesn't do it, it goes directly in the thermal treatment plant. It comes to high CO2 emissions, and the resources are gone. So the good thing is that the politicians are taking action to this by banning plastics, banning plastic products, or high fees on plastic. But we don't have a solution for the product yet. We need a consistent circular economy. No composting or burning. The paper fibers have to remain into the paper loop, the paper cycle. And we need a minimal use of resources, because the less we need on resources, the less we have to recycle. That's why we developed the transfer bag. It's a plastic-free alternative to the normal bubble envelope. So, and we don't only use cut paper or something in it, but a special layer of paper. It's a product made out of paper fibers and starch. With a chemical process, we have a very light and cheap solution for the bubble envelope. And the good thing for all of you is you don't have to separate it. You can throw it directly into the plastic, the paper bin, and it gets recycled by itself. With a high impact, we save almost 40% CO2 emissions compared to the normal bubble mailer, and 70% water saving compared to other plastic-free envelopes. Because other plastic-free envelopes use special paper, it's very many resources we need for this. So we save 70% water, 30% energy, and 20% forest areas with the transfer bag. This is the old one, and the other one is our product. But you can compare in the weight or something. I talked about the other alternatives. Now I'll tell you why we're better. We are cheaper, lighter, and safer. You can see the other alternatives have, like I said, covered paper or like special paper with highly resources, and you can see it's so weight, it's so heavy, and this we see also on the price. We are the only plastic-free alternative that combines cost efficiency and sustainability. So that's our biggest USP. We are the first plastic-free alternative that actually works. Verified by life cycle assessment. So we don't actually look at the product by itself, but also how it gets produced and how it gets recycled and how many resources we take with it. Also, we are low at the transport and storage costs due to the low weight padding material and space saving the product design. And for this, we have an international patent pending. If you look at the market, we use almost 4 billion of these padded bags in Europe only each year. So we have a predicted European market volume in 2025 of almost 380 million euros, because we have more regulations, more plastic bans. We have the trend of sustainable packaging. Our target customers are, of course, B2B, online shops, and companies with internal transport. If we look at the finance, we want to have the break even next year. How we get to do this? We have the market entry this year, and we don't produce by ourselves. We have a license, a cooperation partner, which produce and for the retail. We want a team expansion in the field of material science next year. Why? We want new products. We have new ideas. Isolating food packaging with the same material, or of course, an alternative to the normal bubble foil. And I talked about the European market, but we use these padded envelopes all around the world, so we have the international market as well. And the last upside for our company is the further political regulations, like plastic bans, and maybe the old one is banned in the next years. So together we create a sustainable e-commerce without plastic, without greenwashing, and only with paper. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
No honeycomb. Other has honeycomb. We have like a granulated material.
It's a set of granules in between two pieces of paper.
Yeah, exactly. We have two pieces of paper, and then we have like a granulate little pieces of this material, because then we have more air in it. That's the name transfer back. It's fair, and also we have the air in it. Yeah, exactly. We want as much air as possible in between, because air is light and air is cheap. Yeah. Nationally, that's approved, and ICP. We have time till October to choose the lands where we have where we can patent this, and we wanted a union patent, so all around Europe, plus Spain, Turkey, and I think UK is also not on the union patent. And yeah. Yeah. Of course, we want a patent in Canada and the USA to this year, but we don't want a patent in China, because it doesn't make sense. Yeah, but I think if the Chinese copy this, they made a plastic-free product, so it's fine.
All the major markets that people are shipping into,
Yeah.
the Chinese copy. Block them from shipping in.
Yeah.
Or infringement in the US.
Yeah.
And you're collect. You're not going to collect me to China. It's gonna be
Yeah, exactly.
$200
Yeah.
Great product, great idea. I wanted to ask if you have tested it, if you have put something a bit fragile inside and let it fall, compared to, compare both.
Yeah. We made some tests in the climate box. If we can use it in other countries as well. And in Germany, it's very dry, and we don't have the air.
Humid.
Yeah, exactly. So we made some tests also with our cooperation partner, and we shipped this product in the USA, to Japan, and to Australia as well. And it does a really good job.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. And just a remark for everybody, what I was saying before about the customer value proposition, your slide is exactly what we want to see.
Okay.
So if you can put it back. Yeah, so it's exactly what we want to see.
Okay,
And it's good that you have also put the cheapest solution, but we know why someone wouldn't use it. Okay.
Production level, where are you? You produce now where? Germany.
Yeah, we produce in German, but we don't produce by ourselves. We produce with a cooperation partner. So we are, to be fair, we are actually a license company. Yeah. So our cooperation partner produced it in Germany. We built a prototype that is finished until next month. It's produced in the last 6 months. So the first prototype lane is finished next month, and then we can optimization and see how it goes to the market. And I think the main market we can achieve until
So you
September
have a
this year.
licensee already?
Yeah.
You reveal who the licensee is?
No. Yeah, but it was like a deal we made in the last year. Yeah, exactly.
It's one of those no-brainers.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a big company that sells envelopes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I come from a bookseller. The first job actually was my family bookseller.
Yeah, and we gave the license for the whole European markets, so there we can produce and can distribute, but internationally, yeah, we want other companies, not in Europe, but internationally, like in Canada and or USA. We want a new producer and a new distributor. Yeah, or diversity of our products comes with new innovation. Like we are innovation company. Like new products like isolating food, packaging. I think that's yeah, yeah. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. But we have the problem that we need 2 paper layers compared to the normal one. There's only paper and 1 layer of plastic, and we need 2 layers of paper. And that's why we are not so cheap like this. But the material inside is cheaper than plastic foil.
No, the only question for me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a showstopper, is the production equipment to make it.
Yeah.
That's the make or break factor. The concept's very clear and simple. I like it. And then the only question is, should not be that hard. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know people who do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very automatic machine. Like it's a production street of.
Yeah, you're doing
Yeah.
2 rollers and then
Yeah, I thought it was that simple, but there's some technical tricks. But we made, yeah, we made a first prototype. We made the first prototype idea together with a cooperation partner, and the cooperation partner said, "Hey, we have the engineers that makes these bubble machines in the last 30 years. You make it, and we are out." Yeah.
Money, kind of.
doesn't need anything.
We need a budget for a bigger team. So we want a team expansion. On material side, I think there where we can innovate more products.
So you extend into other
Yeah.
products in other markets.
Yeah.
That's the next step for you.
Yeah, exactly. But for the transfer back, only for the transfer back, the product, we can achieve the break even next year because we don't have innovation costs like machines or something else.
I mean, I don't see you in a position, if I was in your shoes, I would not go out for money because if you get a upfront fee on the license, you can use that to hire the next set of people, or you either, there must be something in there as well. There's the innovation programs that you do.
Yeah.
If they don't give you what you want, you move to Cyprus and you go into some of our startup programs, startup programs, you move to the US, USBIR. I mean, there's lots of places where you.
Yeah.
I don't see this as a. I mean, everybody talks about venture is for like you don't need it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have an investor in our team, not because we can't have an investor, but we don't need an investment. We made this in the last 2 years, and we only had public funds and everything. So it's profitable. It's a lot of work to get these money, but if you have it, you don't need an investor, and you're free. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
So I'm just gonna put this back up so that there's something for pictures. Firstly, especially to the students who came here to present, nobody was gonna take some money out of their wallet to give you now. So it wasn't about just about pitching. It was about showcasing the journey you have been. What we've done in Cyprus, at least in one of the classes, is to have a learning summary, a learning reflection summary. So what did you out of your comfort zone? In a lot of our, especially the engineering courses, I don't know some of you are from what, but typically and classically what we teach is that you end up with a deterministic answer. You have to show that this thing works. You have to make that work. You have to show that there's stability or balance. Working out something like this, let's find the grand challenge. Let's break it down into problems. Let's find some solutions. Let's see if someone is willing to pay for them. That's the difficult part. And you have to do it in a very short period of time. 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 weekend, on top of everything else that you're doing that would put food into your mouth or help you graduate. So going through that, it was great. If your project doesn't work, if someone said someone else has done it, it's not great, it's not good, please don't touch that thing on the ship. It's okay. But you've been through the process. And for us, this is what we want. Even if you end up doing your own company, you might go through some of these steps. If you end up working for a bigger company, you might make it through creating new products for it. But even better, if you end up in a bureaucratic organization like mine, you will find something to make your life easier and make it through the day. I found Antonia, yeah. That was my value proposition to the. Thank you, Cole. So, before we break out for lunch, thank you all for being here. Lunch is served outside. The staff for AUT, I need to see you later after 2. Let's talk reporting because the European taxpayer wants to know what we've done with the money. Sometimes. And let me thank also our guest, LeahSpecer, coming from Nicosia to give an interesting talk, an interesting point, because to be honest with you, I've been going around entrepreneurship and innovation events for 15 years. It was very few that I had something new every time and kept my attention. And I hope I try to bring someone here to give you a piece of that. So thank you again for being here. And a big thank you to all the people who have trained you, or coordinated the people who have trained you and are here. Pancho, Vidu, Santa, Sylvia and Dieter from TU Dublin, Tony from UPCT, who is not here, Antonia at CUT. I'm part of the co. And I'm forgetting someone now. Mario is here, yes. Video, I said a video in the beginning, no? Yeah. And obviously Anna for becoming a later addition to our team. It was a great working with you. If you ever make team, make it as interdisciplinary as possible and complementary as possible. And I think Inno-EUt brought this at the general. So thank you for being here, and it was a pleasure working with you. Now you can have free lunch. That's what PhD students are trained for, finding free lunch on campus.